Welcome to this short documentary. We hope that we will convince you that a better world is possible. This project is proof that we can live in a truly alternative and sustainable way through applied permaculture practice. This video demonstrates that permaculture is much more than a hobby, social interest or philosophy. It's a holistic lifestyle. Karuna Insight Design has gained full planning approval for an education and wellbeing centre. The new indoor facility will serve to educate, inspire and heal. It will help demonstrate to visitors how to live more meaningful, healthy and creative lives. The project aims to become the country's first forest garden community which has been designed from scratch. The centre will help support this. If you would like to make a donation, please view karuna.org.uk. Here you will learn more about our vision and how to assist in helping the project move on to the next stage. Small-scale sustainable agriculture goes unsupported by our present government. It is therefore of immense importance that small grassroots projects are backed by those who care and understand. This project has showed its courage, commitment and willingness to bring about social and environmental change. Please support it. Thank you.
Welcome to Karuna, and we've got you down here amongst the flowers to introduce yourself, and this is your first time at Karuna, and so I'm going to ask you a few simple questions. Could you say who you are and where you're from, and perhaps what you do?
So my name's Alice and I'm currently woofing around England, sort of as a gap year, but I don't expect it to only last a year. I'm a woof host at home, so I understand the woofing world, and I'm also currently a potential woof trustee for the charity, and so at the moment I'm just experiencing life, and I quit my job and just going out there and learning what I can, and trying to learn about myself as well. And I'm from Cambridgeshire in England, just like a rural sort of town.
Okay, could you describe in your own words what led you to Karuna and what Karuna means to you?
Well, I'm currently woofing with a host who, one of which is on a permaculture course here, so we've just come to have a look around Karuna and see what's going on here and see what we can take from this place and use for our own, well, as the host, what they can use in their own life, and for me as well, what I can use. And I guess it's day one, so I think it's a really special place here, and I think everyone here is doing a wonderful job, but they need as much help as they can get. I think it's fascinating, and lots of people will be able to learn from this place.
If you can, please try to sum up where we human beings are right now in this moment of history, and how Karuna fits into the future as you see it evolving.
I think that currently the human race is destroying the planet, but I think there are a lot of people like Karuna and many other places that are trying really hard to improve places and to just lower the carbon footprint of themselves, but I think it needs to be a much bigger scale for it to make any kind of actual effect. I think all these environmentalists is a wonderful thing, and we need to be doing as much as possible to help our planet. And so Karuna with their 18 acres doing what you can, and I think the fact that you're becoming an education centre and going to be showing all of those kind of things to so many other people, I think that's just wonderful, and it needs to happen. And the more places the better, and the more people, whether they be individuals, multiple individuals will create waves and make it better everywhere.
Yeah, well, I think it is happening. I think one of the problems for us personally is that it's not happening fast enough, because we've developed this site over 12 years. So we've been going for 12 years now, and we have limited skills. The project demands numerous energies to actually make it work. It's not a project that's just about myself and my wife, Mirav. It's about everyone, and so we need everyone on board. We need the energy of different people on board. Inside shed. Here we have a bit more mix. Bit of sawdust. And a bit of hemp.
Best stuff. I like things, you know, Jonty's line, what he fed me once, was it was edible landscapes, and that's what we should be creating. If this is your medicine cabinet, it's not just food. We're seeing a massive rise in cancers, diabetes and all these other diseases, and everyone thinks, oh, that's normal. Well, it ain't normal, and there's something you can do about it.
Got a few questions for Morag, who is an ex-volunteer worker here and has actually worked on the roundhouse, and it's fantastic to see her again. And last night we took her into the roundhouse and she absolutely loved it. She hasn't been into the house since she joined a large group of people that were doing the internal clay render. How are you feeling, Morag, being back here at Karuna? Could you just say where you're from and what you do yourself?
Yeah, my name's Morag. I'm from Scotland but living in England. I live about 2 hours from Karuna. I do a very normal job in an office, but the other half of my life is outdoors in our own garden, and I'd rather be outdoors than indoors, to be honest. It's much nicer outside. Being here is absolutely fantastic. It's like an injection of peace and energy at the same time, if you believe that. I can't remember how I found out about the opportunity to help on the roundhouse, but it just seemed like the perfect thing, and it was the perfect thing. It was just an opportunity to come and do something practical, experience something, learn some things, and also lend a hand. It's a really important event in my life, having been part of something that has grown tremendously, and I've never seen a house being built like that before, and the team working well, and all the support that was round it. It was a very caring, loving, open space to be doing practical work, and lots of fun.
Yeah, there were a lot of people on that build. I think round about the time you were there were well over 20 people. You know, we were getting on for 30 people from all walks of life, and the energy was absolutely incredible. I remember at one point I was looking around for some assistance, and I looked in front of me and I looked to my left and I looked to my right, and I ended up turning all the way around in this roundhouse, and there was no one I could actually pick on to come and assist me, because everyone was immersed in the diverse tasks that had been set them, and there was just this absolutely gorgeous energy that I was really proud of and became very aware of in that moment. It really was something special. The energy seemed to be spiralling at that time, and it was almost, for me personally, it was quite a sacred moment, that for the duration of a couple of weeks actually. How did you get on with the clay rendering?
Loved it, absolutely loved it. I wished I could have stayed and done more. It was such a lovely activity, and again back in the same space and moving things forward a little bit in the same, joking and laughing, enjoying ourselves, learning and doing physical work, but it was absolutely heavenly. Really loved it.
Okay, Alice, do you have one or two outstanding things that you love about this place, Karuna? Things that resonate in your heart, or things that you've experienced in the short time that you've been here?
I think first I have to say that this permaculture garden bit that I'm currently lying in, and the polytunnel itself, I think it's wonderful, and it's all I think the 3 sisters might be a bit of a short thing. You've got about 20 sisters all lying around each other, and I think it's wonderful, and all the sort of curved edges, I think it all just sort of flows, and it's not all regimented, and it's multiple things in the same place, and the solar panel that they're also creating shade, and the polytunnel, everything's just growing on top of each other. It's all wonderful, and it's very much like home. And all the recycled materials around, it's just it's all, everything is being used, and nothing is being thrown away without serious thought put into it. And you got all the flowers for the insects and everything, but also you're growing an awful lot of vegetables here, and it's obviously very productive, even if it is a lot of work. And I guess the second one is I love the small injections of human fun, like the swing and the trampoline. It's so simple, but it just creates a completely different atmosphere. It's not all about work, and it's not all about growing, and it's just about living. And I think that is really wonderful, and not everyone thinks about that.
Have you been on the trampoline yet?
I haven't been on the trampoline. I have been on the swing.
Well, make sure you have a jump about on it before you go.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful. Childlike fun, but it doesn't have to be childlike. So, yeah.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Scratcher insect bites, lost out in the jungle, hiding out of sight, with armadillos and lizards, Cheshire cats and frogs, chameleons and crocodiles that look like fallen logs. You've never heard of us, we ain't got a mobile phone. We're living underneath the trees.
Well, I really like the amount of trees and the biodiversity that's here, and also the quiet around. It's just very peaceful, and yeah, I've slept very well here, which is always good. And I really like the ducks. I'm really looking forward to feeding them in the evening, and I see them running towards me and quacking.
They love you.
Yeah, they do.
Glowing in the dark, the wombats and the eagles all the crew of Noah's Ark. They do their courtship dances in the clearing when we play, but they all make such a racket that they never hear us say. You never heard of us, we ain't got a mobile phone. Living underneath the trees, we never got well known. A plane crashed in the jungle, shoot-a-doo by 65. We're a blues band from the 60s, man. Glad we're still alive. They said jungle warfare, they released their quivering prey. They turned to David Attenborough, and this is what they say. We're all endangered species, cause we live next door to you. Please cancel our appearance on your television zoo. Well, you have never heard of us, we ain't got a mobile phone. Living underneath the trees, we never got well known. Shoot up back in 65. We were loose band from the 60s, man. We're back.
Got an excuse to dig off. There's the logs for the rest of the building. Go on the veranda, the outside. And slip. Yummy. If you can you please try and sum up where the human beings are right now in this moment in history and how Karuna fits into the future as you see it evolving?
Well, I think human beings have gone off on a really difficult track now. Massive consumerism, isolation, polluting our own home space, all wrong things. But luckily there is a spark of people pulling back and getting back closer to nature, building more relationships with each other and with the environment and taking care of our home space. And those people are doing fantastic work, and the best thing they can do is obviously spread that by experience, by learning, and encourage other people to make those changes in their own lives. So yes, not great times for the environment right now, but I think there's a turning point, there is a change, and anything anyone can do to support that change and be involved in it is absolutely wonderful and imperative for the future.
About 3 years. Normally they go like that.
With big groups, we do the WAF.
The waff.
Yeah,
What?
That's what
Yeah.
Karuna said when
Yeah!
we received
Jump! Oh no, we've got no answers left.
1, 2, 3.
Can I ask, do you have one or two outstanding experiences that you've made at this place? And are there any things in particular that resonate in your heart?
Well, Karuna is a very peaceful place to be. There's such a lovely ambience here. Partly you're in nature, but also the sharing that Janta and Mirav give to you. They really are open house and open heart with you. I don't think anyone visiting here could fail to have some impact from that in a very, very positive way. Be it education or food or just about getting out of the rat race and living more simply. It's a very, very peaceful place to be, very beautiful place to be, and very inspiring place to be. So I think any support that can be given to ensure that Karuna continues and has the capacity to share that more with more people, should be supported and encouraged. It is the most amazing place to be, and will be a springboard for loads of people who go off and do their own things elsewhere.
Well, say what goes around comes around. You reap what you sow and all that stuff. A lot of the work here, maintenance work at Karuna, is achieved through the hard work of volunteers that we get here. I mean, you've come to drop someone off for a course today, and you've ended up doing a bit of volunteering yourself on this very hot day in the beautiful shade of the woodlands. So you're obviously wanting to give something back to the project, and because you realise that it's not just about myself and Mirav, but there's a much bigger picture into the future with Karuna. And what we have here is a site that's been established 12 years ago, first planted out anyway, which is now thriving and is established. Don't you think it's a bit of a shame that there aren't enough don't you think it's a bit of a shame that this site isn't being used to its full potential? And isn't that the aim of this new education centre? The site's ripe, the work's been done, and what we really need to do is get out there and give people the opportunities to arrive at Karuna and become inspired through healing, through treatments actually, through things like yoga as well as permaculture and forest gardening. So what do you think the potential is for Karuna as a model with the assistance of an indoor venue that would enable a lot more people to arrive here, and arrive here all year round? Because for many years we've been running summer courses, but there are people who could be accessing this site all year round, and obviously because of the climate in the UK we do need an internal space to make this happen. How do you feel about the aims of the project to get this space up as soon as possible, and to seek assistance in funding? We're struggling to find someone to assist us with funding. It's been very difficult. Mirav and I have already attempted approaching a few funding bodies and not been successful. It's not really our bag, and we are seeking someone to assist us in this. Have you got anything to say about this point? That I feel like I've hit a dead end, now, and I'm just kind of waiting for someone to come along and do their bit to make the rest of the project move forward.
It's very apparent this isn't just a couple making themselves a nice bit of ground to live on and live a sustainable living for themselves. From the first time I came here, it was obvious it was a place for other people. What those other people could be doing here was going to be, a wide range of things, be it come for a weekend or come and live here or come for a course or something. But it's 4 years since I was here. Things are moving on, but there's so much to do, but there's all such potential here. So yes, anything that can be done to create an education centre that is usable all year round would be fantastic, because just even being here, even if you came from a city and came here in a car and sat in a classroom for a day, you would not fail to be impressed by something here that would impact on your life in a positive way. So I think anything that can support that happening is fantastic, be it labour, be it funding, be it advertising or spreading the word or anything. It's a big place here. It's a very beautiful place. There's room for lots of different things, and it can support a massive range of different activities. You just need to think that next step of having a place where you can, make it all happen. Yes, there's lots of outdoor capacity here, but yeah, probably could use it indoor capacity too, for people who wouldn't necessarily always come in the middle of winter and be out in the outdoors if they're not able to through health or abilities. So yes, any support.
So most projects actually function at their best when they've got an indoor venue, don't they, for these outdoor projects. When I look around here in Shropshire and beyond, I note that all the successful projects do have a hub, a central place where people gather. Yeah, that's just me waffling anyway. Thanks very much, Marag. Yeah, all the best. Thank you very much. Bye.
Good luck to you. You've achieved so much.
Cheers.
With hard work. So
Bye.
well done.
Okay, so you've visited Karuna a few times, mostly in the early days of the house build is the way that you came to us. I know you've had quite a few pleasurable experiences here at Karuna. Could you tell us about some of those most powerful experiences that you've passed through whilst you've been here?
I think being part of the team on the building and the clay, was everybody was working together, going past each other, crossing, chopping and changing, and just getting the work done in a very peaceful, very joyous way. And then periodically the gong would be banged and we'd all stand still for a minute. The sign was, when the gong goes, you stop what you're doing, put your tools down, and you stand quietly for a minute and just absorb the atmosphere. And it was lovely. And at the end of the minute, you pick up your tools and you get on, and it just creates a lovely feeling. Everyone feels really happy and together. Even if there's like stressy stuff going on and heavy stuff going on and banging stuff and sawing stuff going on, suddenly peace, and then...
Yeah, it was pretty incredible, wasn't it? That the use of that Burmese gong.
And 1 minute out, I think must have created such a benefit, better productivity, better team spirit, whatever, but it was just a minute out. It was lovely.
A minute of silence if you were quarrelling or struggling to make a decision or deciding which way to go, which way next, it kind of cleared the air and allowed new life back in, new direction, new life, and it'd be wonderful because it'd be very noisy, everyone talking and working and tools on the go, and then all of a sudden the sound of a gong and total silence, and some people would close their eyes, some people would keep their eyes open, some people would go internal and just rest for a minute and stop exactly what they're doing, no exceptions, and then return to work. Absolutely amazing experience.
With a clear head.
Yeah, yeah. So you have something else to say, I believe.
Yes,
about
I
Karuna.
want to say it's very easy to come here and go, oh, it's all gorgeous, how lovely, you know, and accept it as it is now. And I can see that coming back a few years later, there's changes. Oh, lovely, they've done this, done that. You've got to remember where it started, an absolutely blank field. And the finished product, or the ongoing product of this beautiful environment, all the plants and the flowers and everything growing, is lovely and very enticing. But it's all come from a couple's passion and determination and blinking hard work. So behind all of this beautiful education is this drive to basically show you, if you have a will to do something, it is possible if you put your mind and your efforts to it. This didn't happen by accident. This was a vision to create a beautiful space. And we're all enjoying this beautiful space and taking away from it, learning from it, and taking away stuff for our own lives out of it, whether it be gardening tips or how to live peacefully or whatever. But yeah, it's all about, this has come from two people with a passion and a drive, a determination. And so just to say that is possible for other people to make changes in their own lives if they put the effort in. And yeah, support Karuna. It's a fantastic place.
Thanks for
need to throw some apples. No way!
But I admit that once I traveled there.
From my tree.
My tree.
Your tree, Ayo. This year my tree was loaded. Telling you, loaded with apples. Last year there wasn't that much. This year, whoa, look at all this, huh? And there's more.
Hey, how do you make noise with your nail and
Welcome to the Pixie Palace.
The Pixie Palace. It's fairy.
In case they missed it. People power, power to the people.
Buckets and about 3 inches from the top.
I'm so fed up with this. I want a job in a factory. Yeah. Good job you were here. It doesn't need to go to the toilet in the wee. It's the sound of the apple juice making it wee.
And drinking it.
Cold shivers going down my spine.
Such a lovely
to
sound.
my bladder. It's rather hot but wonderful dining room. This is why we need an education centre. It's far too hot in here and it's far too cold in the winter time. And we'd like to be running courses here all year round. So obviously the solution is an indoor centre with a large kitchen. Actually we do plan to start drawing people into permaculture through food, and Mirav and I will be enticing people into the permaculture lifestyle, making a more holistic connection with food. So people, for example, that are vegan or raw fooders will be drawn to Karuna and make the holistic connection through food. And as always, food here is excellent. We've got Nepalese tomatoes there from the polytunnel here with basil. And we've got cucumbers here with some organic carrots, pickled carrots that someone brought along today. Oops.
Quite amazing, the colours and smell the amazingness as well. Good stuff. You know, fresh herbs and veg, nothing better than that.
Thank you very much.
Do you want to switch it off and I'll think of the
Well, how about what made you want to come here?
Yeah.
What were the things that you were hoping to achieve, and have you achieved them? Are you achieving them?
Well, I came here by personal recommendation, and
That's always a good way to go.
yes. What did I want to achieve? I just wanted to be in a calm spot and just kind of learn more about sustainable living. And yeah, I think that's what this place has done for me.
So what do you think about the difference between chickens and ducks?
I prefer ducks now.
Okay.
They don't mess up your garden anymore.
Absolutely. And they make bigger eggs.
They do?
They lay bigger eggs and they lay
They're also
more eggs.
a lot prettier.
There's one duck on record who laid 365 eggs in a year. And they don't all do that, that's a record breaker.
Think of what this land was before. This 18-acre field was a monoculture field growing a single crop of something.
Grass.
Grass.
Yeah. A sheep field.
Okay, sheep have a purpose, but what's this piece of land doing now? What is it producing? What is it feeding? It's feeding a family, it's feeding all the volunteers who come, it's feeding the environment, it's a growing space, it's putting trees up. It's doing so much more now. It'll be an education space for, I don't know, hopefully hundreds and thousands of people to come here and learn something that they can go off and replicate in their own lives. And you think about the arguments over permission to grow a forest and grow a house and grow some people and grow a learning space in this piece of land that was a field before growing grass. It is such a productive place now in so many ways, not just vegetable garden, growing people, growing new lives. Why on earth would anybody be against that? We need loads more of this.
New wholesome directions.
Yeah, there are plenty of monoculture fields out there. There's not enough Karunas.
So hopefully we'll see it replicated throughout the land.
Yeah. People come learn about it and go off and do their own thing and replicate it, so there's a better balance in the planet in future.
Great.
More fields being used more appropriately.
Brilliant.